أرهبوا أعداء الله وأعداءكم سعروا الغزوات ولا توقفوا الغارات.
At some point, some of the southerners of Nigerians, some southerners, people from the south part region of Nigerians, started feeling that it's a northern problem. I personally, as a journalist, encountered people telling me that, you know, when I go to Lagos, when I go to places, when I go to Edo, people will tell me it can't come here. You know, we are very organized, you know, and stuff like that. We're very civilized and stuff like that. I was just looking at them because I know how organized these guys and how they think, you know. And I kept on trying to get people to look. This is a Nigerian problem. Let us come together.
Nigerian security situation continues to deteriorate, with bandits and terrorists carrying out deadly attacks on communities, military formations, farms, highways, and schools across the country. The latest incident occurred in Oriire local government area of Oyo State, where more than 46 students and teachers were reportedly abducted by armed bandits. The development has sparked protests and renewed calls for urgent action to address the country's growing insecurity. As concern mounts over the safety of lives and property, questions are being raised about the effectiveness of the current security measures and the government's response to the crisis. To provide insight into the situation, Root TV spoke with security expert Abrak. According to him, the absence of a clear security strategy and the politicization of security issues has significantly contributed to the worsening security landscape across Nigeria.
I remember that when this insecurity started, when it first started, they first came in and said they were against the government, particularly the foreign nationals that were here. We started seeing them attacking the UN office. You know, the UN offices. From there, they went to military bases, you know, police stations and all of that. They even came to the police headquarters there. And then all of us Nigerians were thinking that this was against government because government is not providing the dividend of democracy, government is not fair, government is corrupt, you know, and stuff like that. So they continued. You know, before you know anything, from there they jumped to the churches.
دمروا الحواجز والثكنات.
I believe that there are some Muslims that believe that since these people are shouting Allah Akbar and carrying out their acts and all of that, they are fighting an Islamic cause. Some Muslims must have thought of that. And the next thing, boom, we saw it in the mosques. You know, and some people were feeling that, it has gone wrong. The next thing, we saw it in the markets, like in the markets, in the Sunday markets, is it Monday markets in Maiduguri. It was recurring. And at some point, some of the southerners of Nigerians, some southerners, people from the south part region of Nigerians, started feeling that it's a northern problem. I personally, as a journalist, encountered people telling me that, you know, when I go to Lagos, when I go to places, when I go to Edo, people will tell me it can't come here. You know, we are very organized, you know, and stuff like that. We're very civilized and stuff like that. I was just looking at them because I know how organized these guys and how they think, you know. And I kept on trying to get people to look. This is a Nigerian problem. Let us come together.
Abrak explained that bandits are local criminals element who understand the country's political and cultural dynamics. He noted that they often intensify attacks during religious festivities and electoral periods to exert pressure on the government. He therefore urged authorities not to treat the issue through political or religious lenses, but to confront bandits strictly as criminals.
I'm calling on the president and also the people of Nigerians. Please, let's not pay attention to this issue. The thing is that these criminals are attacking us as a country, right? We are supposed to face them and deal with them. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, these are criminals, and you are the #1 security officer of Nigeria. Whether they carry out their terrorism and their criminal activities in an election season, or they carry out during Christmas season, or Salah season, or Independence Day season, because these people always look for seasons that when they attack, the level of their attack will be loudest. Do you understand? So therefore, now they are doing it in election season. Let's not begin to concede everything that is politics. These are criminals. Let's look at them as criminals. And I call on President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to face his front and stay committed. The people that are being killed today are the most people that are the voters.
The security expert further argued that weak political will and inadequate security measures, corruption, have made it increasingly difficult to secure the release of victims without the payment of ransom.
There is political will on the side of political leaders. There is also complacency, on the side of personnel, security personnel, to engage the situation. Of course, there's also corruption, which is at the top, that corrodes all these principal actors, in dealing with this situation. Political will, just like the way we just mentioned now, there are a lot of people in positions in positions of influence, particularly as regard to security, that are supposed to tackle this thing. But they might feel that we have done enough for these people. Now the president has done enough for this country. Why is it that now they are using insecurity, to stop him from getting re-elected? That will affect the performance and the commitment of the person. For instance, if the person is sitting on an intelligent desk that is supposed to monitor, a call digitally using technology, don't you think that can affect him? We are human beings. That can affect him in getting committed to. So I'm saying here that the political will has waned, in tackling this issue. The security agents themselves, the security personnel, be it military and the people and other paramilitary people that are working with them, including the police, we have been fighting this war, particularly the military. Let me stay with the military. The military has been engaging these people since 2000 and what? Maybe say 2009, and actively from 2011. For how long? And how many? What is the strength of our armed forces? About 230,000 to 260,000. Yes, I know the UN figure says that is not too bad. Do you understand? But in our own case now, we have overstretched them for too long. We have the war has gone on for quite too long.
He also called on federal government to collaborate with relevant stakeholders to establish forest guard across the country. According to him, while military may clear criminal elements from conflict zone, forest guard can provide sustained community-level security and prevent criminals from returning after military operations.
I have seen it. I have witnessed it, that the military have continuously, over time, disseminated terrorists. But the thing is that when they disseminate them, as I believe that they will do in Oyo State, they would, after some time, they must retreat back to the barracks or go to another assignment. Who remains in that forest region where those terrorists want to or dwell? Who remains there to ensure that they do not return? If we can train the forest guard to do all of this, we would have been able to forestall all this. But let me quickly add this. We have been calling for the establishment of the forest guard. And when we called for the establishment of the forest guard, they decided to go and do pilot projects. Pilot projects in 7 states. I can tell you that it's very difficult for you to get I don't know what the NSA and the president and the security chiefs are looking for, in setting a pilot project. But I, from my point of view, I think it will be very difficult to be able to estimate the level of the effectiveness of the forest guard from that point of view. Why do I say so? Kwara State has forest guard. Niger State, I don't know where they have forest guard. So now, Kwara State has forest guard. Don't you think that if Kwara State has forest guard, its neighboring states that do not have forest guard, those people, the insurgents, can hide from that forest in the neighboring state that does not have forest guard. Let's say even Niger State, which other state, Kogi, and from there launch attack into Kwara State and retreat back. Now that the president has also gone ahead to set up to approve forest guard for Oyo State, if the forest guard in Oyo State is set up, don't you think that those that are going to be dislodged from Kwara State can escape into states like Ogun State, Ekiti State, who do not have this forest guard? And from there, they can also still launch an attack back to Oyo State and reclaim and recoil back to where their base is.
Abrak further urged Nigeria's government to strengthen security cooperation with the United States, stressing that enhanced training, intelligence sharing, technological transfer will significantly improve Nigeria's capacity to combat terrorism and other security threats.
There was a very big attack on December on Christmas Day, and also the Almanoki killing. But let's look at Oyo State. You know, and this is why some of us were calling on the U.S. President Trump. We did, my group, the Northern Christian Youth Professionals, we put out a press statement urging the U.S. to collaborate more with Nigeria. You know, instead of coming to Nigeria, they can collaborate more, and we were calling on them to collaborate more in terms of support to the armed forces, but more importantly, support local policing systems, particularly the Forest Guard. We call on them to fund the Forest Guard, you know, and also for training and other, even in technology too, because these people that they are coming, that they have to leave America to come and protect because they are being killed, these are the people that they can help train in this local level to provide, this security. And to be honest with you, I believe that they could probably achieve more success if you use the Forest Guard effectively, the people in the local community, you train them, you tool them. I believe that both the Nigerian partnership and the U.S. would have been able to achieve more success than what we are seeing today. We are not saying that their presence here is not effective, but we are saying that I believe that it would have been more successful, you know, if the Forest Guard would have been funded by the U.S.
He maintained that defeating terrorism and banditry requires a comprehensive approach involving government, security agencies, local communities, and international partners, adding that sustained commitment and strategic coordination are essential to restoring peace and security across the country.